Hello and welcome. Today, I'm going to be counting down my top 10 Halloween movies. Our number 10 movie is Mindhunters. It's a clever little thriller that's got, it's got L Cool J in it, but don't let that draw you away from it. He's actually pretty decent in the movie. We've even have Val Kilmer. He doesn't have much of an appearance, but he is sort of a main character, if you want to consider him that. And it's pretty suspenseful and a really surprising ending. I didn't think it would end the way it did. And it's kind of, I guess it's alright if you like thrillers and police type of movies. So yeah, I think you should give that one a check. The next on my list is The Nightmare Before Christmas. Now, this is one of my favorite movies of all time, but it's lower on the list because it's not really a Halloween movie. It's kind of more of a Christmas movie. But it still has lots of Halloween elements, and really, if you haven't seen this, what are you doing watching this movie? Go out and see it. It's really good, and I have the soundtrack on my iPod. I mean, it's a memorable soundtrack, kind of musical-esque, but it's by Tim Burton, and he's really visionary. It's good, really good movie. Give it a look. Number 13 on the list, Van Helsing. Now, this is a Halloween movie through and through. It's got Dracula, it's got the werewolf, it's got everything you could want in a Halloween movie. It's even got Hugh Jackman. I love it. It's a great movie. It's really underrated. A lot of people don't like it because it's by the same guy who made The Mummy, which a lot of people also aren't too ecstatic about. But I really liked it, and I think you should give it a check out. Well, the next movie on my list, I don't really own, but it is a Halloween movie that I've seen. Well, it's a Friday the 13th movie. I mean, you gotta have it on the list. But it's not the original, it's not the sequel. It's number 3. Why did I like number 3 better than all the other ones? Is because it is campy. It is really, really campy, really corny, and hilarious. It's even in 3D. It's really funny, and I think you should go check it out. It's Jaws! Of course it'd be on the list. It's not even really a horror movie, but it's an awesome movie. It's like the top of one of the best movies ever made. Steven Spielberg is a genius, Rob Schneider's great, Richard Dreyfuss is in it, and it has some of the best quotes, best effects, and best acting I've seen in a very, very long time. It was made in the 1975, I believe, and was amazing. It's really what started summer blockbusters. So without this movie, technically, you wouldn't have your Transformers. So know it, watch it, love it. Do I really have to do much more than put the movie out on the screen? It's the dawn of the space horror movie. It is brilliant. It is sci-fi. It is horror. It blends the two together perfectly. It's like the perfect mesh. And it's everything that I was looking for in this type of movie. Sigourney Weaver. Most people like her. I think she's really good in this movie. And it's a really sweet movie. And the monster, the alien, it's stuff you really hadn't seen before. And it's very original and very different from most movies. Well, it's not as different nowadays, but back then it was a big step for the horror genre. Check it out, please. Number 9 on the list is Fright Night. And you may be wondering why I'm covering the other half of the cover. Well, it's a 2-disc special. And there's another movie that may be introducing itself to our countdown in the near future. So, for now, we're just going to be talking about this movie, Fright Night. It's a vampire movie when vampire movies were still good. When people still knew how to make them. When people had respect for the vampire lore. Unlike Twilight. Anyways, Chris Sarandon's in it. He's, you may know him from Princess Bride. He was Prince Humperdinck. But, surprisingly, he makes a pretty scary vampire. and very good one, too. Roddy McDowall, who plays Peter Vincent, he is brilliant. He's like a reference to all the old Draculas and Vincent Price and all those people who were on TV. It's a kind of a nostalgic film, and I hadn't seen it till quite recently, so if you get a chance, check it out. Try holy water, dead breath. That's right, it's the Lost Boys. Some of the best lines in movie history. I love it. There is not another movie like this out there. It is the best vampire movie ever made, in my opinion. It's close up there with Interview with the Vampire, but that's not really a Halloween movie, so it didn't make the list. But this, it's like a party. It's like a movie you can watch at a party. It's a movie you can watch on your own. It's a movie when you're looking for entertainment. When you want to go back to the 80s and relive what it was like to have an awesome time with movies. Anyways, if you haven't seen this one, it's not amazingly popular, so you may not have heard of it, but there's quite a cult following, and I'm part of the cult following it. But no, we're not a creepy cult. Don't worry about that. Anyways, go ahead and watch it. It's really good. Oh, and I might want to mention, it was one of Kiefer Sutherland's best roles. You know Jack Bauer? Yeah, he's in this movie, and he's trying to suck your blood. Now, you can see the other half of the cover with Fright Night on it. It's Urban Legend. It's a lesser-known film. I doubt you know about it, but if you do get the chance, you should pick it up. It's a campy kind of movie. It's a horror movie in a college school kind of setting, and it has to do with a whole bunch of old urban legends and how people can get killed by urban legends. And of course, some are disproved, some are proven, and it's really fun, and it's really funny. Robert Englund's in it, and he may be appearing soon in our countdown. Stay tuned. The next video on our countdown is Carrie. Now this is a genuinely scary movie. This, folks, is why I may not be going to prom. Because this movie is flippin' scary. It's based on a novel by Stephen King. I've read the book. It doesn't really follow the book that well, but it is pretty freaky. The book is better in some terms, but it's still pretty freaky. It's one of the first appearances of John Travolta. You know, the guy who's big and famous now? Yeah, he was in this movie as a victim. Shows up. A lot of famous actors had their starts as horror movie victims. Yeah, you'll be seeing a little bit of repetition soon enough. A movie with one of the most iconic theme songs of all time. It is Ghostbusters. With a cast like Bill Murray, Harold Ramis, Dan Aykroyd, Rick Moranis, and Sigourney Weaver again. It is a brilliant film. It is all about the people who bust ghosts. And this is a box set of 1 and 2. 2's not as good as the original, but it's still worth a watch and pretty funny. It's a comedy movie, and it's got some of the most memorable scenes of all time. Enjoy. Our next movie is another movie I don't really own, but I really enjoy it, and I've seen it a few times. Now, it's Nightmare on Elm Street. It was one of the genuinely few scary type of slasher films, because it was an original idea. I personally, when I was young, was afraid of going to sleep. It was a common theme, like I didn't like to go to sleep. And after watching this movie, I think I can understand why. It scares me for a different reason than it might scare you. But again, Robert Englund is in it, and he's Freddy. He doesn't do as much talking or bantering as he does in the sequels, but this is better because he doesn't do it. Because it's good dialogue, and Johnny Depp is in it. Johnny Depp is one of the victims in this movie. He doesn't make out too well.